So now, after defining fee amounts, or the amounts that are payable per fee, we want to view how much each PP is supposed to pay. Now you can view that from the payment status, but this would require that you run the report builder so that it actually calculates for each PPU how much they're supposed to pay. Another way is that you can visualize how much each PPU should pay when you're recording the payments. So let us first use this one for recording payments. So we're going to click on record payment, and let's go back to the fee amounts first. Notice that we defined a few fees here for grade 7s. For instance, we have this grade 7 exam fee of 700 kwacha. So we do not expect this to apply to any class that is not a grade 7 class. Okay, that means any PPU who is in grade 7 should have this fee, and everybody else shouldn't have it. And we also have other fees. For instance, this one called less privileged. You have a project fee of 200 kwacha for the less privileged, but the same project fee has 500 kwacha amount for everybody else. And this applies also to grade 7s only, but not to other classes. So let us see if this is what we're going to have when we visualize these payments, these fees, Now, when recording payments, you can select the status of the PPUs. So you can record payments even for PPUs that completed. If somebody comes after they complete and say, oh, I would like to finish up my payments so that I can collect my results, then you can select. But in this data set that I have, we only have active PPUs. And then once I select the status, I can select the year and say 2020. And then I can search for the PPU. Now you can search for the PPU by their name if you know them. Of course, in most cases, the PPU might just be standing next to you. So you can ask them their name, or if you know their computer number, you can do that. Now in this case, I want to search for grade 7s first, and I can see all the grade 7s here. Let's assume I select this Lukundo Chiweza. Now this Lukundo Chiweza is a grade 7, and like I said, we expect to see the grade 7 exam fee, and there it is. So it shows that they're supposed to pay, this is a one-off fee of 700 kwacha. Okay, so this form that you see here shows you, the first column shows you what the payment is for, and you can see it starts with the yearly payments. So some fees are payable per year. For instance, this stationery is supposed to pay 100 kwacha per year. PTF fund is supposed to pay 50 kwacha per year, and then there's this project fee of 500 kwacha. Now let me just do this and click on another. I create another link which is opened here. I want to show you something here. Notice that project fee has got two fees, like I mentioned. You have a fee of 200, you have a fee of 500 kwacha. The fee of 200 kwacha for project fee applies to the less privileged, meaning any PPU whose category is ticked as less privileged, that means they're supposed to pay 200. Everybody else is supposed to pay 500. Okay? So this Lukundo Chiweza is not among the less privileged. Okay, he wasn't ticked. He wasn't specified to be among the less privileged, and that is why you can see that it shows the fee of 500 kwacha here on project. Alright, so how would you set a category for a particular PPU? To do that, you have to go to enrollment. So I'm going to click, I'll open this in another link so that I don't disturb my work here. In fact, maybe I can just use the same one. If you go to enrollment and you click on, so under enrollments, you have this part that says update PPUs, and then you have fee categories there. And when you click on fee categories, here you can specify or view which categories a PPU belongs to. Select a class. So this is a grade 7 class. Notice that we have all the categories listed here. Let's scroll to that Lukundo. We can even search in Firefox. We can actually do this. Yeah, there it is, Lukundo Chiweza. So notice that it doesn't have any categories here. Okay, but we have some of these people with some categories. You see, they have a category called early comers. This one has a category early comers. Then you have this Taizwa Witola, who has a category of less privileged. That means we would expect that for this Taizwa Witola, for the project fee, because we have a separate project fee for the less privileged, we expect to see a 200, not a 500. Let's see if that's what we're going to see there. So let me go to our record payment, and I go to active 2020 grade 7. We have a ppu called white Taizwa, this one. Yeah, so there we are. You can see here we have the project fee. Now the project fee for this Taizwa is not 500, but it shows 200. Why? Because this one has been assigned a category of less privileged. This is why it shows a 200 here. And notice that, let me also show you another interesting thing. When you go to, if you look at the fee amounts, look at the school fees. School fees also, there's two parts. There's a 1,200 for the category of early comers. You have 1,350 for everybody else. But this early comers only applies to the grade 7s. So of course, because this Taizwa is in grade 7, yeah, then it up. So notice that school fees is 2. You have 1,2 for early comers, meaning those in the category of early comers, and you have 1,350 for everybody else. And then when you look at these categories here, you see that this Taizwa is also assigned the category early comers. So that means for any fee that applies this category here, we expect this pupil Taizwa to get the fee for that particular category. And this is what we're seeing here. You see that Taizwa for school fees, school fees for each term, whether it's term 2 or term 3, you can see 1,2. It doesn't say 1,350. It shows 1,2. Now, this table only shows fees that are not yet paid. This is why you're seeing that there's no term 1 here, because term 1 has been paid for. Okay, so it only shows you what the ppu is owing. If you see that the table, after you select the ppu and the table is blank, there are no records, it means the ppu has finished paying everything. So don't be surprised. And of course, you can view their payment history here. If you just click that, it will show you all the payments that they've ever made. Alright, so this is how you visualize, this is how you view what the ppu is supposed to pay. Now, this table still goes on. You have, so it shows you the payment for, it shows you the fee and how often it is payable. It also shows you the amount that they're supposed to pay. Okay, it shows you the amount that they're supposed to pay. And then if you want to apply a discount, of course I'm going to show you this when we do the recording of payments. Actually, you can apply discounts. You can specify whether your discount is a percentage or not. For instance, if I put I put something like 0.1, I can tick that this is a percent, which means I'm giving this student a 10% discount on this amount they're supposed to pay. Then the system will also show what the final amount is there. And then of course you'd have to record the payments there and so forth, and then save the changes. But I'll show you that later. So this is how you actually visualize this. The other way you can visualize what the pupils are supposed to pay is you'd have to build. You'd have to build your reports, and then you go to payment status. But I'm going to get to that later after we've done a few recording of payments. So this is let's see what did we leave out. So we have this boarding fee that we haven't yet specified for anyone, and I think I'm going to cover that when we talk about the recording of, or maybe let's just do it now. So remember I said that if you have a fee that is categorized, in order for that to be applied to pupils, you must tick the pupils categories. You must say, okay, this pupil. So let's assume that this, where is that Lukundo? This guy. Let's assume that this Lukundo is a border. So we tick and say Lukundo is a border. That means, where is that page? So let's search again for Lukundo. Lukundo's oops, what did I do? If we say Lukundo, this one. So notice that at the moment there's no fee that shows boarding here, okay, because boarding is a categorized fee, it doesn't apply to all pupils. So in order for it to show here, it means Lukundo must have been assigned the category of boarder. So let's assign him that. We say that Lukundo is a boarder and we can save. Once we do that, and let's try to refresh, we select Lukundo again, Lukundo. Yeah, when you select Lukundo again, notice that it shows the boarding fee here. Okay, so of course it's not showing the school fees because this guy has paid all the school fees already. But you can see that it shows the boarding fee of 900 that is supposed to pay for all the 3 terms. Okay, so you have boarding fee, boarding fee, boarding fee, boarding fee. And now let's say that actually he's also supposed to pay a transport fee. Okay, so we can go back to, where is that? Nope. We can go back to here where we specify the categories. Let's say that this same Lukundo has signed up for school pickup and he lives in more than 15 kilometers. That means he's supposed to pay that 1.5. Okay, so we save this and then we go back. We go back there and we search for him again. Yeah, so of course, in case you're wondering, you can't see other records. Notice that there are more pages here, so if you go to the next page, then you can actually see the other fees that is supposed to pay for. But remember, we said that transport is also payable per term. Okay, the transport is damn, I hit this. Okay, so there's something that I just noticed here. Let me just get to that back. So I'll get back to record payment. I think I made a mistake in the beginning when I was talking about these fee categories because I've noticed that it creates some sort of confusion. So let me search for that Lukundo again, and you'll notice in a moment what I mean. So notice here for the transport fee, because there are 2 things that I specified there, like school pickup and so I said something like school pickup and more than 15 kilometers, right? So this guy, so what we're supposed to do is to just say that he lives in a distance more than 15 kilometers. So by ticking that, it means automatically we're saying he's he's subscribing for the for the transport category, for the pickup, for the school pickup. So there's no need to specify another category called school pickup. And what that does is, you can see that now it has it has made the system pick up all these 3 things, which is not necessary. It has picked up the 500, which is for those who live 5 to 10 kilometers. It has picked the 1000 for those who live 10 to 15, and then it has picked the 1.5 for those who live more than 15 kilometers. Now, what am I talking about? So if you get to the school amounts, which is here, notice that I created this, I got these 2 things here. this is something that is not unique, and this is why it's repeating those, because this is not unique. These categories are not unique. You're supposed to have a unique category per fee. Only one category per fee. When you specify a fee like that, say this 500, there should be just one category here, not like this. So what the easiest way to fix that is just to remove the category from the ppu. Of course, we can also delete these and redefine them. Okay, there are two ways we can fix this. The first is go to the ppu. Let me show you. Here, instead of taking more than 50 km and scope pickup, just remove this because you don't need it. Then save. And then when you go back to view the ppu's payments here, if we clear that and just reload, so let's search for him again. Rukundo Chiweza. So you can see that now the fees are correct. They're showing properly. Instead of it's picking his right category, which is 1.5, because we say that he lives in a distance more than 15 kilometers, so it picks that 1.5 here. So what confused it was that for all the three amounts, the 500, the 1000, and the 1.5, we also said that fee. If you look at the fee amounts here, so this way you can see why the system is getting confused. Let me show you. Notice what we've done here. We've said 500 applies to school pickup, 1000 applies to school pickup, and 1.5 applies to school pickup. So if you say that this guy also has the category of school pickup, like we did, it means that he picks all those three amounts again. Okay, which is not the case, and that is why the best is just to have one category here. Okay, so we actually don't need this, because by saying more than 15 kilometers, it means automatically this guy is signing up. Okay, so there's no need for another category called school pickup, so we can actually delete this category. So if we go to the fee categories, we can just remove this one called school pickup. Yep. So when we remove it, oops, it was here. If we go back to the fee amounts, yeah, once we remove it, once you delete that fee category, then you can see that it also disappears here. And this is what we need. We just want the unique categories for each of the fees, like that. Then the system doesn't get confused. And now we have this Lukundo. We just say enter. In fact, if you reload this, because now it's showing wrong things, but if you reload this, it shouldn't show that school pickup category. So there we are. Where's Lukundo? There. So now there's no more that school pickup category in here. Good. And this is what we have. So each fee, a pupil is only supposed to have one category. You cannot have multiple categories for the same fee, and that is where the confusion. So we had something like transport, and the pupil was being assigned two categories: school pickup and the distance, which was wrong. So my apologies for that, for misleading you. So now we continue. Let's go. What were we even doing? Yeah, so here, this is where we're viewing. So now I've shown you how you can view all these different kinds of fees for these pupils. I've shown you this grade 7 exam fee, and I've shown you how you can activate, for example, the boarding fee. So for the boarding fee, what we did is, for this pupil, we simply ticked here on the fee category. So under enrollment, you can go to fee categories, and then for each pupil, you can tick which categories they belong to. It's very quick and easy. You just select a class, it will show you all the pupils, then just tick, oh, this one belongs to this category, save, and then you can go back to your payments. And then the system will automatically show, immediately as you load the pupil, it will show the amount that the pupil is supposed to pay. And now it is showing us that he's supposed to pay transport fee, and like we said, the transport fee is payable per term. So that's why it's showing these 3 times, term 1, term 2, and term 3. The boarding fee as well is 900 and it's payable per term. And then at the end it will show you the totals that the people is supposed to pay. Okay, so remember, you have the amount that is payable, then you can apply a discount. If you type in there, you can actually apply a discount. So I'll show you that later. And then if you have a discount, it will show the amount, the final amount that is supposed to be payable. Yeah, so that's how you view these payments. And later on, like I said, that I'm going to show you another view, which is this summary view, which I think I'd loaded here, but this will be for later. So this is where this one ends, on how you can use record payments page to view the payment.